What's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Indiana State Basketball Dynasty here on NCAA 2010. And we start our year opening our season up. We are jumping into a little bit of non-conference play, and we even have the audacity to get into conference tournament action. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to see how our first few games go. We're going to get a good feel of what our team is. We're going to, go into these like early season games real quick, see where we stand. And then also, not only that, play a couple of tournament games in the non-conference just to see, what kind of season defining moments, how will our season be defined, trying to set that good tone in today's episode. So hope you guys are excited for it. It's been a long time coming. I've been procrastinating getting this episode 2 out, but we are finally here and we are ready to get it underway. Hopefully you guys are excited for it though. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright boys, so our very first game of the season does have us taking on this Louisville Cardinals squad. And what I am going to go ahead and do, I want to try to go ahead and see if I can possibly get this to go a little bit faster. So bear with me here. There we go. We'll move things along. Very new to the game, as you can see. But first half, we were hanging with Indiana State or with Louisville for a hot minute. And actually, we might be able to make something shake here. As we are closing into about 5 minutes left in the game, and we're only down by 9. So I'm curious to see what we could do in the last few minutes. But it does look like that. Listen, Louisville is going to pull away from us here, and we are going to lose our first game against Louisville 73-57. But hey, you know what? That first game of the season, I definitely did not expect us to win by any means. So next game we do have against VMI, and we're doing better in this VMI game, right? We are actually doing more than holding our own. We actually build a double-digit lead, and we actually leave VMI behind here in this second half. We should be able to come away with the victory, and we do. We put up a nice 69 points as we win 69-54 against VMI. We ended up hitting 7 of 26 threes, and we out-rebounded VMI tremendously in this ball game as well. But while I was working on getting ahead and getting everything set up, I did rename a lot of you guys. So, meant to include this earlier, but, we are going to go ahead and, introduce you guys. What is this team going to be looking like going into this season? So, this is your roster going into season number 1, by the way. So, John Phillips is our best player. He's a 78 overall power forward. Scott Smalls is a 77 overall point guard. He is a senior. Alistair Varant is a sophomore shooting guard. He's also a 77. Ken Harris is a senior point guard as well. He is someone that is also in this starting lineup. Have a very small lineup. Coming off the bench is Jodo Thompson. He's a junior shooting guard. At center is Chris Gentry. He's at 6'8". So we play a little bit more of that small ball lineup, but with that being said, that does allow us to play a little bit faster. Lane Tybergian is a guard off the bench. Justin Credible is actually our only pure center on this roster. We're going to look to change that here moving forward, but solid player at 74 overall. He's more of a traditional post player. And that right there is going to be your roster this upcoming season. As you see, I've went ahead and redshirted plenty of players, but your top 8+ guys are actually guys that are going to try to make a difference on our team. A lot of love for the custom guys here, absolutely. But shortly after the VMI victory, we actually do get an email from our athletic director, because we do have our first home game coming up very shortly, and the alumni are looking for a big win. We're taking on Air Force. Looking to see if we can get another win against the military academy, but if we do, we could be rewarded with a faculty upgrade. Now, something that you may not know about in this particular game is that you have the opportunity to really work on going about upgrading facilities. We won't play this particular game, but we'll definitely jump into the simcast. If it gets close, we will certainly have no issue jumping in at all. So here's to hoping that we can come out and get this win against Air Force. And going into the first half, yet again, we might have something cooking here on this team. At least, one of the better mid-major teams by what we are doing. The poor Air Force, Air Force just really did not stand a chance whatsoever. We end up doubling up Air Force here. We win 86-51. John Phillips got a double-double with 20 points and 13 rebounds. And then Ken Harris also puts up a double-double as well. He played all 40 minutes, and he had 11 points and 10 assists in the ball game. We certainly are not messing around. But we'll take a little bit of a break from what's happening on the court to maybe take a look at what's happening off of it, as we do have free scholarships that we want to work through. And I think I found myself free guys that, one, we have a reasonable chance of actually getting, and then also guys that could contribute to our team as soon as next season. We found the center, Tim Anthony. He's 6'10", 221, is a all-state kid in the state of Florida. Florida, a very deep state, and right now we are leading him. It's, a lot of teams down south, but we could sneak in there and grab him. We just offered him a scholarship, and he's averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds in high school. Certainly not too bad at all. We did offer him a scholarship. We also offered Dante Jeffries as well. Dante Jeffries is from Esmere, Delaware. He's more of that traditional post player at the 4, but I like what he could bring in terms of just general toughness. The dude averages more than 2 blocks a game, so while he isn't necessarily one of those elite offensive players, he could be a very good defensive player for us, and could give us some toughness into our program. So we offered him a scholarship because of that as well. And then, of course, Rupert Graves. He's a passing scorer type from Roseburg, Oregon, and the Oregon product is looking hard at the Indiana State Sycamores right now. Someone that is very good performance metrics, does not have the high-level stats that you would want to see necessarily. The stats really do not impress, but his metrics do suggest that, hey, maybe this is a guy that could really blossom and maybe could be a diamond in the rough. So we gave him a scholarship offer as well. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with his recruitment. But right now it's looking good for all 3 of these guys in terms of landing them onto our team. Now, the last game that we do have before we get into our early season tournament is a road game against Duquesne. Now, as you guys have seen, Duquesne has made the NCAA tournament recently, even won an NCAA tournament game, so should be an interesting matchup for us here, as we're going to try to go 3-1, but it's not looking great for us here early on. We had a tough, slow start, but then in that second half, we really started to get together here. We get to this 5-minute mark, and in the 5-minute mark, it really gets to a point where it just becomes a 4-point game, and it's going to be one of those games that remains pretty close throughout the rest of this ball game. I think we might be doing just enough to try and win this one out. Our starters getting a significant amount of playing time. There's certainly no question about that, but I think it is certainly paying off though, as it looks like here in these final couple of minutes, we're going to be able to pull it out as we win yet again. 74-59 ends up being your score. So I actually did not realize this when I was looking at this Anaheim Classic, but that last game against Duquesne that we played actually was part of that Classic. Now, thankfully, we did end up winning, and, we won pretty convincingly, 74-59, but we should have an interesting matchup in the next game, though. We're going to take on UNC Greensboro. Greensboro is coming off of a game in which they scored nearly 90 points in the ball game. So UNC Greensboro, they're certainly no joke. They're a solid mid-major. No, they're not liquid or a gas, but they are certainly a solid mid-major. So really excited about this one. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's see what we can do against this SoCon squad in the UNC Greensboro Spartans. Let's get it in, boys. Alright, boys, so here we are with the semifinals of the Anaheim Classic. As your starters are being announced, we got some of our seniors out on the court ready to get things going as we have our keys of the game, trying to set that tempo. Just take better care of the ball, as well as, trying to run that motion offense. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead, get the tip underway. We did end up losing that opening tip, and we will get things started against UNC Greensboro. UNC Greensboro, first drive of the game. It's going to end with a couple of points, so we do end up getting off to a little bit of a slow start here. Couldn't score on our first possession, and they just like to pound us down low for sure. Having some issues very early on in the game, trying to make sure that, hey, let's try and keep them out of the paint, and yet they're doing things like this where they're able to, hit those perimeter shots, hit those fadeaways. And so we now find ourselves down by 4 as we try to get it inside to Phillips, but can't get it in. And so have to go back the other way, and Scott Smalls is going to be responsible for the foul. Dude does end up making both free throws, and we're now down 10-4. It's kind of been a bad start for both of us here as UNC Greensboro is bringing the ball up here once again. Going inside to Phillips. Tries to get a handoff, but it's going to be made as well. And again, we find ourselves down by almost double digits. This is why you play the game. We may have had a better team on paper, but man, we are certainly not playing like it right now. But John Phillips goes coast to coast, and it's going to lay it in. He's been a bright spot for us. He has almost all of our points here in the first half, plus a couple of blocks. And speaking of Phillips, there he is with the rebound, pushing the ball up the 4. Smalls pulls up a free. Bang! Scott Smalls with the 3-point dagger. And we're only down by 1 possession. 3-point game with 10 minutes left to play here in the first half. They try to run a motion. We get a nice hand on it now, and they're going the other way. Harris, we're going to get it inside to Gentry. And Gentry is going to have a foul call on him. He'll go to the free throw line, take a couple of free throws. And we actually do make 1 of 2 free throws, so not perfect, just trying to get a little bit better at the game. This is actually the first time that we played this game in a long time. It's been a minute since I've touched NCAA 10, but we out here, man. We are absolutely back. But I do not like what I saw there. Just incredible. Giving up the offensive rebound and then also getting an and 1 to go on his face. So that means it's going to be a 5-point game for not for long, though. It's Gentry goes coast to coast. He now has 7 points in the game. And Gentry absolutely feeling himself there. Really turning those possessions into points. As they'll try to throw it inside. Down by 5. And they're going to get Samuel to make that particular hook shot. While to give UNC Greensboro a little bit of a bigger lead. And it looks like it's been that kind of game. But we're trying to claw back in it. Thompson looking to go the other way. JoJo! Oh, baby, I believe I can fly. We certainly got some high flyers on our team, man. Should be an exciting season, number 1. If we can continue this fast pace of play. But we got to be better on the defensive end, though. Can't be giving up easy buckets like that. I should have been able to get that pass intercepted. But, of course, I'm a bot on the sticks. So, yeah, we are down horrendous on that front. But what about this steal by Allison Ferrant? Gets it inside to Butner. Butner kicks it out to JoJo. JoJo to Credible. And still working around, but just incredible. Settles for a hook shot. That's good. So So we're only down by 3 here, but with 2 minutes left to play, Buckner thought about the free, but kicks it back out instead. Trying to move this ball around a little bit. Krezibel gets double team. Buckner with an open free. Bang! Tie ball game at 38 apiece. And we are now all the way back after being down by double digits for most of this first half. Can we take the lead here? That's stolen. Got it by JoJo. Looking to go coast to coast. And it's in. JoJo Thompson getting the layup and the foul. He will end up missing the N1 opportunity. But with 50 seconds left to play here in the first half, UNC Greensboro's going to get inside. And Samuel's going to be able to get the 8 points at the half. Has been overall an exciting first half to watch as both teams, really going that breakneck speed. 40-40 is your score at the half, and honestly, stats between the two of us are pretty even. No one has a particular edge. We were able, for the most part, to get our game keys taken care of. Gotta do a little bit better job running our motion offense when we get stuck in the half court. But you already know what I want to do. I want to go coast to coast, that breakneck speed. I want to go into this idea of that 7 seconds or less offense that was made famous by the Phoenix Suns. Scott's going to get a steal, and he's going to go the other way. He'll lay it up for the easy layup, and Indiana State's now going to have a lead. 15 minutes to play here in the second half as we get another forced miss. Ken Harris with the rebound. Harris thinks about getting it in himself, but Phillips, he's got a lot of space to operate, is going to force a shot up. That will draw the foul once again. And so that will take us back to the free throw line. And we're able to actually make both of our free throws. Imagine that. We actually know a thing or two about making the free throws. Like, they're going to be cooked if we can continue that pacing. And Phillips is just killing them today. Phillips continuing to have himself a career day here as a senior. Now with a 4-point lead, trying to run the motion. I read it though. We got it out in open space. Here comes Harris. He gets blocked from behind. But there is Phillips ready to clean it up. And so we still hold on to the lead. But we're certainly not perfect. Making some mistakes there. We got a block. But the block goes into another person. Just some bad, unfortunate luck there. So it's only a 4-point lead again. Phillips cuts it back over to Smalls. Trying to swing it around. Looking for someone to get open. Might have someone for Scott Smalls. And that is going to be counted as a long 2. Not a free-pointer. His foot did end up being on the line. But hey, we got it to go. You love to see it. So a 6-point lead here for your Indiana State Sycamores. As we almost forced a turnover. But we were not able to get it, as probably should have just let that go out of bounds, but decided not to necessarily do that. Should have been going the other way. Is now moving it around, trying to get it inside to Phillips. He's been cooking in that paint all day, but instead we turn the ball over, and UNC Greensboro is going to go coast to coast themselves. So a 2-point game as we try to cook up a free. Not good. Get the rebound though. And we're going to try to swing it back out. Trying to get it back over to Allison for Thompson. Back to Credible. Credible with the hook shot, and it's good. Actually surprised there that, I believe that was JoJo Thompson that turned up the three-pointer. I'm surprised that he didn't try to actually shoot that himself. But, hey, he's certainly playing hard, causing that turnover as well, baby. Let's go, man. Absolutely love to see it. But we're getting down to his last 6 minutes of action already, though, as Varant is going to kick it out to Justin Credible. Credible to the outside for JoJo Thompson. Thompson might have a little bit of a lane. Oh, if only Justin Credible is a three-point shooter. Unfortunately not. But we'll kick it out to Ken Harris, just swinging the ball around, taking a little bit more time off the clock, trying to just, play good basketball. We're up late, and we find that open shot after all. Too long, mid-ranger danger does end up sinking through. And we're just looking to finish these last 4 minutes strong as, I thought we were going to have the rebound. Kicks it back out to JoJo. And we'll have a brand new set of 35 because that's what the rules were back when this game came out. Nowadays, if we were trying to go ahead and get the offensive rebound, shot clock would have been only at 20. So we probably would have been chucking up a shot by now. But Varane is left open though and sinks another free. And so a 72-65 lead. Less than 2 minutes to go. Credible falls to the floor, kicks it inside. I don't know how that goes in, but man, did it certainly come in after all. As does that pass. Like, I'm there. I am there, my guy. And here comes the bull crap. You know, hitting that kind of mid-ranger danger. Little fadeaway. You would think he was Michael Jordan, but he's not. He's not even close to that as Gentry is able to possibly make the game-winning steal, able to get a couple of points out of it, so it turns into a free throw game after that. And yeah, man, we might be coming out and winning this game, taking ourselves to that good old-fashioned Anaheim Classic final. Game starts to glitch out a little bit too, so good time for us to, get ourselves up out of here. And yeah, we are going to win the Anaheim Classic. We end up winning 75-69. Held them to a very nice score, if I say so myself. John Phillips does get named player of the game. He nearly has a double-double. He was only 1 rebound shy, but a 17-9 performance is certainly nothing to scoff at. If you can put up double-digit points in college, you're certainly capable of being a dog. Alright, so I had to get myself out of the game real quick because I had a sinking feeling that the game could crash. Thankfully, it didn't, so it's saved. But, hey, man, good win. Good win. Not our best game, though. You know, we let UNC Greensboro hang around to the very end, and, we got to get better. At least me as a user, because I left up a lot of points on the board, right? As well as had some obvious breakdowns, but we got a big free, man. Chris Gentry, John Phillips, and Scott Smalls. Those three guys were definitely our big free today. Scott Smalls did lead the way with 18 points. John Phillips had 17. And then Chris Gentry chipped in with 13 points himself. We did also have contributions from the likes of Alistair Varant and Ken Harris, who did have that off day shooting the ball, but he did a good job distributing. He did lead our team in assists today. He had 6 total assists. I'm also surprised that we didn't get any steals. I mean, I know we had at least a handful of steals in this game, so I am very surprised that we didn't get any steals recorded, so to speak, but do need to get some more contributions from our best bench. We only had 4 from JoJo Thompson, and then just incredible, he came off the bench as well for 6 points. Brett Buckner had a few himself, so gotta get a little bit more from our bench, but I do like how we got better, at least from me from a user standpoint, because it has been a hot minute since I've actually played this game. So because we were able to hang on against UNC Greensboro, that does mean that we do get to play Robert Morris in the Anaheim Classic Championship game. And Indiana State, our boys come out and they simply mean business. I mean, they really came out here and they got it done. They absolutely are going to get the job done here. 72-56 ends up being your score as we run Robert Morris off the floor, and we actually will win the Anaheim Classic here to start our season. So we're looking at a 5-1 record to start our November slate of things. You love to see that, and not to mention we're going to be Anaheim Classic champions as well. But not only do we have a pretty good November on the court, but off of it, the top guys that we wanted to go after, we were actually successful in doing so. Tim Anthony, Rupert Graves, and Dante Jeffries, well, they're all going to be joining the team. They are signing with Indiana State. We do have to remember that we actually have to accept these guys because NCAA 10, even though they sign with your school, they don't automatically join your team. So I gotta make sure to do that. getting free all-state players for our program would be very nice, and we can build some depth here in our backcourt, which is exactly what I wanted to accomplish here in season number 1. But in the next episode, we are going to wrap up the majority of non-conference play. We're going to take on teams like an Iowa State, who's coming to our campus. We'll even take on Arizona State as well. So, we'll have plenty of games to look forward to here in the month of December. Let me know down in the comment section what you would prefer to see. Would you prefer to see this Iowa State game, or would you prefer to see us go on the road and take on Arizona State? Definitely let me know down in the comment section. But excited for how the rest of the series is going to turn out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's been a minute since I've done an NCAA 10 series, so any feedback that you guys have would certainly be very much appreciated. But with that being said, this is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. But hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.